Okay, grade 11s. Now I'm moving to the third question. So the question says, in the space provided, draw to scale 1:20 a detailed section on cutting plane AA of the area and the ellipse shown on the incomplete floor plan. Uh, this is the incomplete floor plan, as you can see right here. And where is the cutting plane AA? The cutting plane AA is right over there, and we will only show this section where there is an ellipse. That means we are cutting right here. So that means we are cutting the structure, this building right over there. Are we together? Okay. Show the following features on the drawing up to the ceiling height. Okay, we have to show the complete foundation, external wall and window detail. No part of the non-load bearing foundation is required, so that means we'll just only draw the load bearing foundation. The lintels above the window, that means we have to show the lintels. The windowsill under the window, the bath in the correct position, indicate with dimensioning the length of the bath, all hatching details. Only the substructure hatching may be shown in neat freehand. Okay, the substructure is from the floor level going down. So we call this a substructure, this section from the floor level to the foundation. And then from the floor level going up to the roof, we call that structure what? The superstructure. So they are saying here from the instructions, show all hatching details. Only the substructure hatching may be drawn in neat freehand. That means the hatching below the finished floor level, you can just draw that hatching in freehand. Okay, and then yeah, that's it. So now I can just start by drawing my sectional elevation, but I'll just use my floor plan here, the complete floor plan. So I have my cutting plane AA right over there. So if we look at this cutting plane is cutting through this window up to the opening right there, but we are not cutting a wall right there, right? It's just an opening. So that means we have to show the window and the external wall as well, and the foundation. And then the sectional elevation will be drawn here. That means I'll just draw the section AA right over here. As you can see, they said I must start the foundation right there. Okay, so now that means I'm cutting this building here, and I look from this direction, right? Why? It's because there is this small triangle and this small triangles right over there that are facing that side. So that means I'm cutting this building there and I'm facing that side, right? So if you look at this building from this direction, what are you going to see there? You will see this path, and you will see obviously the wall and the wall that is cut, as well as the window and the windowsill, right? And then if obviously this whole part will fit here, that means I'll also see this part of the wall, the internal wall, but I don't think that wall will fit here. That means we'll just cut up to somewhere there. Okay, so now I'll start with the foundation. As you can see, this wall, this side is the external wall, and from our information sheet, we are given the measurements for the foundation and also the walls and the slab. So obviously I'll start with the foundation. As you can see, I've converted all the measurements. The length of the foundation is 30. So from here, I'll measure 30. So I'll just measure 30 right over there. So I can just draw a construction line there, a vertical line, like that, just like that. Okay, and the height of the foundation is 10, so I'll just measure 10 there, and I can just draw an outline. So this is my concrete foundation. Okay, just like that. And then I'll just hatch my concrete foundation. So when you hatch the concrete foundation, you can just draw small triangles there, and with some dots to show that this is concrete. Okay, so that's how we hatch concrete, the concrete foundation. Okay, from here, obviously, we have a wall going up. So the thickness of the wall is given up there. It's 222, and when you divide that using the scale, and remember the scale is 1:20 from the instructions there. I'll just go back and show you. So from the instructions, they said we must draw the detailed section using scale 1:20. Please do not forget that, because usually learners, they just forget about the scale and they divide all the measurements by 50, and that means now you lose some marks. Okay, so all the measurements are divided by 20 because the scale is 1:20. So now I got 11.1, right? So I can just make it 11. So I'll just get the center point there, okay? And then half of 11 is 5.5. So that means from that point I will mark off 5.5 this side and 5.5 that side, right? So this is the thickness of the wall. So I can just draw two vertical lines, two construction lines going up like that. Okay, so I can't just draw outlines right now because I'll have to add the slab and everything, right? Okay, so now I'll move. We are given this distance from the concrete foundation to the ground level, so it's 15. So from here can just measure 15 millimeters. So this is the ground level, so I can just draw an outline there. It's that line. So this is the ground level, right? And this side of the wall, I can just draw all the way to this break line. So why do we have a break line? We have a break line to show that we still have something. This building is still continuing to this direction towards our left side. Why? Because if you look at our foundation, or not the foundation, our floor plan there, we are cutting only this part of the building, right? And remember, we still have a building all the way going down, right? So obviously we have to add a break line to show that, okay, the building is still continuing, right? Okay, I hope you understand that part. Okay, so now I have this lines, right? Okay, so we are given also the height from the ground level to where the slab starts. So this section here, we call that what? A concrete slab. So that's the slab. So okay, the height is 15. So I'll measure again 15 millimeters there. Okay, then for this one, you can just draw a light construction, and then the thickness of the slab, it's given there, it's 10 divided by 20, it's 5. So from that line I'll just measure 5 again and draw the construction line like that. Okay, so this is the thickness of the slab, right? Those two lines. Okay, so now if you check the slab, the slab is going into the wall, but not all the way, but halfway, right? So the slab goes in halfway, right? So you must get the center line of the wall, right? So because already I marked there a center point, so I can just use this point as my reference So that means I'll just draw an outline there. That's where the slab starts. So then I can just complete my slab there. And if you check, I've drawn a line from where the wall starts there. Maybe someone is asking, why is Minir drawing a line from there while the slab starts there? So I'm drawing this line because obviously we have to add what? A DPC there. A DPC is like black plastic that is placed before you build the wall, right? So the black plastic is called what? A damp proof course. Okay, so now I have that part of the slab, so I can just hatch my slab. Remember, this is concrete, so I can just draw small triangles with some dots there, because this is for marks to show the hatching, even if you don't hatch all the way, but you need to show that this is what? Concrete. Okay, and then now from here I can just draw this wall here, right, and also there, because I want to hatch this section. So this section is the hardcore filling, the compacted sand, because before they put this concrete they have to compact inside the around the building, right, before they pour the concrete. So I'll just hatch this hardcore filling using my 45-degree set square. So I can just put it like that, draw a line like that, and then align the side. These are just triangles, so I just draw lines like that all the way to the break line. Like that. Okay, and then now I want to hatch the earth just down here. So remember, they said we can use freehand for this hatching here, but I prefer to draw these lines using a set square so that your drawing look neat, and I prefer quality drawings. But for this hatching down here around the concrete foundation, you can draw that in freehand. So normally what I tell my learners, I just tell them to just use the 45-degree set square and draw like lines like that, and even the side of the foundation, draw lines like that, and then in the opposite direction just create small squares like that, like that. Okay, and then from there inside the squares you can just draw your lines like that, so it's much easier this way. Okay, so I'm done with the hatching. As you can see, it's perfect. Okay, so now I'll just proceed with my drawing. So now I'm done with the substructure. So now I'll have to draw the superstructure now. Okay, let's go back to the floor plan, because this wall right here, it's the external wall, so obviously we are cutting there. So now I'll start drawing the window, but I'll have to get the height of the window, right? Okay, the height from the floor level, from here going up to where the window starts, right? Okay, So obviously I'll have to draw and add the windowsill as well. So if I look here, I will given the height of the window. Yes, we are given here from the floor level going up, it's 105. So obviously here, that's where the window starts, right? And then I'll just draw the height of the window. Maybe the height of the window, or the window will be from there to somewhere down here, right? So now from here to there, I'll measure 105. So it's 105 from the floor level. 100, 105 is right there. Okay. So I'll just draw an outline there, a solid line. Okay. So that's where the window starts. So now I'll just draw the window frame going down, right? But now I have to check the height of the window because this is window 1. So I'll just go back to my windows here. Where is window 1? Window 1 is right there. This is the height, remember? So the height is 18. So that means from this line I'll measure 18 going down. Oh no, it's not 18. Remember, the scale here, it's different. That means I'll have to divide that by 20. So it's not 900 divided by 20, it's 45. So that means this will be 45. Okay, and then yeah, that's it. So I'll just measure 45. So 45 is right there. Please do not forget the scale. I almost made a mistake. I was about to measure this 18 because I forgot that this 18 was for the elevation, whereby we used scale 1:50. So obviously for this sectional view we are using scale 1:20. Remember, you have to convert the measurement to scale, right? So 45, I have my 45 there. Draw a construction line there. Okay, so now I have to draw the window frame here, because remember the thickness of the window is not the same size as the thickness of the wall, right? So the window will be 50. So the standard thickness of a window frame is 50. So I'll just divide that 50 by 20, which is 2.5. So I can just make it 3 millimeters. So in the middle of the wall, I'll measure 3, right? So 1.5 this side, 1.5 that side. So it's 3. So I can just draw my window frame right there, like that. So this is my window frame there. Okay, so now I do have my window frame there, right? So now remember, I have to put a windowsill, and normally a windowsill is placed below the window, just under the window frame, right? Okay, and then I need to draw like a step here just below the window. Let's say this is the wall, so the step will be drawn like that. So this is the wall, right? Okay, so the windowsill will be placed just right here. The windowsill will be placed like that, and then the window, this window is just right there. So obviously the windowsill is placed just under the window frame, so I have to draw the windowsill just like that, right here. And then now the height of this step here, because this line, I do have it, it's right there, right? So now this height of this step it's 85, right? 85, it's 85. That means I'll divide that 85 by the scale, which is 20, 1 is to 20. So the answer is, so it's 85 divided by 20, which is 4.25. So it's 4.25. Okay, so I'll just make it 4. So that's the height of the step here, right? So I'll just draw the step right over there. Okay, so let me just draw it there. So I have the center point there. I just draw a construction line and measure 4.25. So I can just make it 4 like that, and then draw a line there, even there. You can just draw a line like that. Okay, so now I do have my step there. Now I'll have to add the windowsill. So how are you going to add the windowsill? Okay, so now the windowsill will be placed right over there. But where are the measurements for the windowsill? Remember, we were given by the window nodes. So the measurements for the windowsill are given. They're right there. So 160 by 20 millimeters. That means the width of the windowsill, it's 160, and the thickness of the windowsill is 20, right? So the width is 160 and the thickness of the windowsill is 20. So 160 divided by 20 is 8. So that means I have 8. Then 20 divided by 20 is 1, obviously. So that means the width is 8 and the thickness is 1. Okay, then I'll just go back to my drawing there. Okay, so this is my drawing. So I'll just draw a line from here, from this point of the step. So I'll just draw a line. That line must pass there. So I'll just draw a line like that. Construction line, and I'll measure 1, the thickness will be 1. So I'll just draw a parallel line to that line. I'll just move my set square up like that. So that's the thickness of the windowsill. So now I have the thickness of the windowsill, and then obviously the width is 8. So that means I'll have to measure 8 from up there going down. So 8 will be right there. All right, okay, so from there from that point I'll just draw a line like that, and even up there, just like that. Let me just zoom. Okay, so from here I draw a line and up there, and then I just draw those 2 lines. Like that. So this is my window sill right there, and then here we need to just make some small dots there. It's part of hatching, so we have to hatch that part over there. So this is the detail of the window sill, and this is the window frame. So the thickness of the window frame, the standard thickness is 50 millimeters. So if you are given, or maybe you are cutting through the window, and obviously you have to add the window frame, right? So you must know that the thickness is 50 millimeters. Okay, so I'll just proceed with my drawing. So now I have the windowsill and the window frame. So now I have to draw this part now, right? Okay, before I draw that part, I will have to draw or add what? Two lintels above the window and the door. No, obviously I have a window right here, so I'll just add the lintels above the window, right? So what are lintels? Lintels are the horizontal beams that are placed above uh, the openings. We use the lintels, or the purpose of lintels is to support the weight of the walls, right? So lintels are placed above the window or doors, right? Above the openings. Okay, so now as you can see here, they said 2 times 85 times 100, right? So this 2 is the quantity, right? That means we have 2 lintels, and this 85 is the thickness or the height, and this 100 or 111 is the width. So obviously the lintel, something like that. So the height is 85, right? So it's this 85, and this 111, it's for the width of the lintel. So if you check the photo, just down that bottom right corner, you can see from the picture that we have some beams placed above the openings. So those are the lintels, concrete lintels. Lintels are made out of concrete, right? So lintels are used to support the weight of the walls. Okay, so obviously I have the height there and the width, and we have to draw two uh, lintels, right? That means this is one. That means the other one will be placed next to this one. So if I have two lintels, that means now the thickness, now the whole part, the distance there will be 222. And if you check, the thickness of the wall is 222. So obviously the two lintels will fit there. So we'll place the lintels just above the window, right? Okay, so the height, it's 85. So obviously I converted that. I got 4.25. I can just make it 4. So from here I'll measure 4 going up like that. Draw a line, and then obviously in the middle I draw a line, and then obviously the lintels are concrete, so obviously I have to indicate, I have to add what? The hatching there. Okay, okay, so now I've added the two lintels. I can proceed now. What's the total height of the wall to the ceiling height? So we are given the height from the floor level to the ceiling height right there. So it's 135. So I'll just measure there. 135. 35 is right there, somewhere over there. So I can just extend that. Okay, so now I can just draw a vertical line. So this is the wall. Okay, so this is the wall, and then this side, remember we have a windowsill there, so just extend that line up to the windowsill and continue drawing a line up there, but we are not given the total height, so I will just add what? A break line up there, as you can see here. Okay, so from there I'll have like something like that, and then I draw a line there. So I can just draw a line like that, and draw a line up there. Okay, let me just draw the break line. Up there. Okay. So now remember, I have to hatch the wall to show that this is a wall. So I'll just start at the bottom here. Just like that. So please do not forget to hatch the walls, right? Please do not forget, obviously even up there, we need to hatch the wall, like that, that. Okay, so I'm done hatching the walls. Okay, obviously here you can't hatch here because we did not cut the wall here, because this is like an opening, so we have just cut through the window here, so we can only hatch the wall up to there and up there only. Okay. I'm almost there, but remember we have to show the path on our sectional elevation. Why? It's because if you look at our floor plan right there, we have cut the building there, over there, and we're looking in that direction. Obviously I'll see this path, right? But I'll see the side, the front view of the path. So if you check here, this is the top view of the path, this is the elevation of the path, it's the side view. So obviously I'll have to draw the symbol, the graphic symbol of what? A path. So we are given the height there. The height is 480, so I'll divide that by 20. So 480 divided by 20, it's 24. So this will be 24, and this length is 1750 divided by 20, that is 87.5. okay, so let me just add my path. So because from my drawing the top view, where is the outlet? The outlet is right there. That means the path will start from this side going to that side. So obviously the height is 24. That means I'll have to measure from the floor level, because obviously the path is placed from the floor. So it's 24 right there. Draw a construction line. And what's the length? The length is 87.5. Can make that to be 88. So if I measure here, I get 87.5, right? So that means the path will fit right over there. And then obviously at the bottom there, if you look here, there's a slanting line there. So obviously even here I'll just add that part, but we're not given the angle, right? So I can just use my set square and draw it there. So this is the path, the elevation. So this is the graphic symbol of what? A path, right? Okay, So now I'll have to check if I'm done with the sectional elevation. Obviously, we have cut here, there's a window there, the bath is there, the walls obviously, okay, and the hatching, everything is there. Now I'll have to go back to my instructions, right? So the complete foundation, I can mark that off. External wall and window detail, right? Okay, no part of the non-load bearing foundation is required, so I did not draw an internal wall there. Okay, the lintels above the window sill under the window, the bath in the correct position, indicate with dimensioning the length of the bath. Okay, so that means I have to indicate the length of the bath there. Right, so I can just do like that. So what's the length of the bath? The length is 1750, so I can just write it there, 1750, like that. Okay, so I can just mark that off, indicate with dimensioning the length of the bath. Okay, or hatching detail, only the substructure. Okay, perfect. So all the points or the requirements are completed. So let's see the last few instructions. Label the following: the south elevation and scale. I labeled the south elevation, as you can see. Okay, I'll just read that again. Label the following: the south elevation and scale. South elevation is indicated in the scale, right? I can mark that off. The room designations, the rooms are obviously, and the floor finishes indicated. Using the correct abbreviation, label the following features. So I'll have to label the features now on my sectional elevation, right? Okay, so I'll start with the ground level. So this is the, let me move my drawing. This is what the NGL, natural ground level. We have a DPC there, so just write there DPC. So I can just make it more thick to show that there is a DPC there, and also we have a DPC just here below the window, right? So I can just label the DPC. I can even add what, an arrow there. That arrow is for what, the DPC. So they said we must label the ground level, finished floor level, DPC, and the built-in carports. Okay, we don't have built-in carports here. We only have the DPC and the ground level, and also the finished floor level. Okay, so I can just write here FL right there, because this is the finished floor level, right? So I did not add what, a screed there, because obviously here we are not given a screed, right? So I just leave it like that. Okay, so now everything is marked off. So this is the complete sectional elevation, or section AA, right? So let me just show you the complete view so that you can see everything. Okay, so the question is complete: the floor plan, south elevation, and section AA, right? Okay, so the scale is indicated there, and they labeled the view. So there's no need for me to label the view and also write the scale. So thank you for watching. I hope this will help you. Sharp.